Hi guys, my name is Vin, and today I'm gonna make another video. Yes, Mom. I'm making a video, Mommy. My dad is singing downstairs in our basement. I have to I'll turn on the lights first. There. Better. I turned on the lights. So today I'm gonna read you a book called This. Called the Lock and Key. Lock and Key. The Initation. From Ridley Pearson. There's the introduction. But I'm not reading the introduction today. I'll read the chapter 1. So here's the map. Here's the map. Right there is the main house. Right there, pointing right there. Hard to show it on the camera. Hard to show on camera. Anyways, this is the map of this world, of the book's world. I'm reading. This is chapter 1. Chapter 1. The late August. It always should show backwards whenever I show you on the camera. Let's read. Let's read. Late August. Terrified for my life, I ran from my brother. I was faster. We both knew it. Faster went outside on grass, running towards a finish line. Finish line marked with 2 tennis rackets at the end of the stretch of manicured lawn on Booston Common. Yeah, there are many streets in Lock and Key in the invitation. The map I show you is kind of hard for you guys to see because whenever I show you the pages, it flips. It flips the words. So yeah. Currently, however, I was running down a first floor hallway in the Beacon Hill home. It was lined with oil portraits of horrendous looking stern faces. Old people to whom I was related. Great uncles. Woman with hairy moles. A grandfather with scornful bro and distrustful eye. The family morality. At the end of the portrait was a gargantuan mirror with a glided frame, and in it, someone I knew all too well. The girl I saw had a teardrop face, intense gray-green eyes, tightly formed bow lips. My father called my look and my nose, in particular, statuesque, which I hope was a good thing, given that my eyebrows were unpleasant, narrow slashes, with no curve to them whatsoever. My brother and I shared the discolored skin beneath our eyes, something for which I would forever curse my mother, as my father and his ancestor didn't possess that particular trait. The mirror had stopped me for a nanosecond. I had trouble looking away from the portrait. I ran on. A rental carpet runner, as old as the faces on the wall, muffled the footfalls of my bare feet. I dodged a black glassware table in the frosted when the reproduction gas lamp were sconus, now electric. were switched off. Father did not believe in dark hallways or stairs. Each night he lit the place up like a Christmas tree. I dodged the hideous stuffed raccoon that stood on its hind legs, and farther down the some kind of weasel that still scared the gee whiz out of me. One of the weasel's glass eyes were missing, leaving it looking like it was constantly winking. My speed advantage did not play out within the house, where I was careful of the antiques, and my brother more reckless. He knocked over the raccoon without pause, charged me like a train. I carried his treasure diary. So his brother has a diary in hand. Only its surrender could save me from his wrath. And only then, if I could quickly convince him it was all a joke, that I never intend to read it, which, as we both knew, was a far-fetched lie. Of course, I intend to devour its contents. I was reading as I ran. I knew if he caught me, I was basically going to kill me. I deserved it. I was a thief, even if I preferred to think of myself as a researcher or historian. Where was I? Oh yeah, I felt like a criminal. It turned out I had a lot to learn about that. James was tall for his age, 14, and I guess already shaving. Oh yeah, James was his brother in this book. He was 14 years old and he was already shaving. His pitch black hair, parted far too high on his head, created a kind of dirty look to his face that recently came and went. But by all accounts, he had quiet looks, no sharp bones to his round face, darker skin surrounding his sad eyes, and my Foley was salt, my brother was pepper, and with a Scotsman's lush complexion to his high cheekbones, his sullen dark eyes seemed to be looking everywhere at once, and he had ears too big for his head. I didn't know if he'd grown into his ears the way he was expected to grow into his silly clown feet. But if he didn't, he was going to have trouble at dances. "You're so dead," he called out. We both knew that was nonsense. He was special to me. We were special to each other. Father didn't encourage social activities for his two children. So James and I had learned to build forts out of blankets. Ooh, a pillow fort. I love building a pillow fort. You can do it at home. It's really fun. You can search up how to do a pillow fort. Anyways, let's get back to reading. Cook unfathomably horrible meals together, act out scenes from our favorite books, and had even created our own language that neither Father nor Raphael, our Romanian driver, Nora Cook, the Caribbean Mrs. Delphine, understood. Only Loris, our nanny growing up, now father's railed-in, gray-haired secretary, and the person in charge of our houses and properties could translate. Already hiding within, I heard the smoke click on my father's study door, opening and closing. It was a room we were forbidden from entering without father. Naturally, it was where I was hiding, dressed in rich red leather book spines, an antiquated, a world map globe in a brass stand, dark woods, and thin frayed carpets. It smelled of walnut oil, of fragrance that would stay with me and make me cry for years to come. There were limitations to where I could hide. James knew it. Under the harvest table behind the door, tucked within the plush red velvet floor to ceiling, hanging on either side of the mahogany bookshelves in the unlit fireplace, or where I currently was hiding inside the Italian armorier. James drew out his search, displaying sadistic tendencies, which to my mind had only gotten worse in recent months. Time was when he would have joked with the unseen me, coaxed me into laughter, so I revealed myself. Playing on our affection, he'd set a bee trap, like the one my father hung outside the kitchen sink window. All sugar water and inventive cunning. Now instead, James was more the insect zapper variety. If we'd lived in the Middle Ages, he'd be in training for the dungeon work where he turned the screw on the rack. He was the proverbial kid who picked the wings off living houseflies. Only I was the housefly. He removed my confidence bit by bit, scheme by scheme. He made me afraid of him and dependent upon him all at the same time. My brother was learning how to be sly, and I didn't care for it one bit. What fools these mortals be, he cried out loudly. He probably didn't know I knew he was quoting Shakespeare. That was the only thing he didn't give me any credit. None. He thought I was a stupid girl. Period. I wanted so badly to shout out Midsummer Night's Dream, but kept my mouth shut for fear of the torture I would invite. You'd have been smarter to go through to Lotus' office or into the kitchen. Father's study is a no-no, little girl. He knew I would boil at being called that. I kept myself from screaming out in anger. A sharp electronic peal of our home security system drilled through the house. The feature was called On Watch. It chipped whenever a window or door was open. It allowed Father to monitor if anyone entered or left the house, effectively marking us, his children, prisoners in our own home. It wasn't the way he saw it, but Father saw most things differently than we did. The current warning suggested the front door had opened. Father had returned. James flung open the antique left door of hand-covered armor, the side that contained our father's winter coat, the side that smells of mothballs, and climbed in atop me. I jabbed him with my fingers, believing he intended to drag me out into the room as a sacrificial lamb. But it wasn't that all. He pulled the door shut behind him, and we were two kids in the lion, the witch, and the werewolf world. Maybe I thought, oh shoot, my battery's going down. I'll put this up. It's in battery saver mode. I have to go down again. Alright guys, I have to go down. I'm still recording. You have to have a little trip. Another trip. Again. I'm sick of going down and back up. I have to go down because I have to charge my computer. Mommy, I have to charge my computer. I'm holding lots of things. Okay, charging time. Sorry guys, I have to charge my computer. I have to turn on these lights. Hi guys. Sorry, I have to turn on the lights. Where was I? Page, I think I was on page 6 or 7. I don't know what page I was. And where was I? Maybe I thought if we stared clawing at the back wall of the armor, we'd tumble out into snow. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you. I'm gonna be on chapter 1 of the book. Okay guys? Maybe I thought if we started clawing at the back wall of the armor, we'd tumble out into the snow. As it was, James' right leg was between my knees. As I was sitting down, his legs. Oh yeah, that's strawberry. Mommy, can I have some? Thank you. Yeah, we're eating strawberry. Sweet! Very sweet. No, Mommy. And it was James tumbling was between my legs as I was sitting down. His knees in my face and my stomach and my face in his stomach his stomach. I thought he must be holding onto the clothes rod since he was able to remain so steady in such an awkward position. He stole his journal out of my grip. I didn't put up much of a fight. Father's sixth sense brought him shortly into the adjacent library. Children. Next, he entered his study. Sweet again. Okay, where was I? Next, he entered his study, only the thickness of an armor doorway. Again, I nearly screamed, my hair dark brown going on black like my brother's. If you had to ask, had twisted around one of James' shirt buttons, strands ripped it loose with each subtle movement. I could ease more than a few serious problems. Father was known to spend hours in his office. He often napped in a chair facing the fireplace. If my brother pulled any more of my hair out, I was going to scream. My nose was already running from the tears in my eyes. In my eyes, from the hair being pulled. Worse, I heard the sniffing of our 2 English shepherds, London and Bath. And London loved James. Bath was all mine. There was no way the armor would stay closed for long. A curious thing, Father did not sit in the favorite reading chair by the fireplace, one that made a particular and peculiar squeak when sat in. I could picture him standing a few feet away, staring at the inquisitive dogs whining at the armor, or perhaps sitting behind his desk in the chair, which was sturdy and silent. I heard a click, like a fence gate, followed by another, and then a few moments later a clunk, as if something heavy had been set down. The globe wouldn't make such a sound. Neither would any chair in his study. James bumped the inside of my knee intentional. He was asking me what was going on. This was an unspoken language between brother and sister that only came from endless hours together. A punch in the arm, a flick of a finger on the back of a neck, a hand placed gently onto the shoulder, a ruffle of one's hair, a light pat on the cheek, a strong pat on the cheek. James and I could see each other well enough for me to know he was confused by Father's actions as was I. I found myself trying to explain the heavy sounds, as if a door had opened. This in a room with only one door, like the study and its door. James and I had only the one parent, and before today we had liked to think of him as predictable. Maybe that was out of want, possibly out of necessity. Single-parent children need stability. I would later be told by the headmaster of Baskerville Academy. We need role models and codes of conduct, a sense of a spiritual, and 3 meals a day. The rest will take care of itself. It had since been proved that headmaster can be as wrong as the next person. The rest. doesn't always take care of itself. It didn't take care of me or James. It abandoned us, just as we'd been told our mother had done. It left us groping for answers, struggling for solutions, and at odds about the quickest road to self-preservation. In short, that brief time spent huddled together in the armor in Father's study would be one of those wonderful shared secret moments between me and my older brother. As things turned out, it would also prove to be one of the last times I truly felt so close to him. Okay, that's the end of this video. My next chapter would be chapter 2. It'll be the invaders, the invaders strike. That's chapter 2. The invader strike. Chapter 1 is, what was it? Late August, yeah. Okay, so this is the end of the video. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. And I'll see you in the next video. Daddy's singing. So, bye-bye. And you have to go to sleep soon. So, bye.